For today's discussion, we will review the case study on how some animals have behavior adapted to their environments. Now, you have to read about two animal species, the eastern marmots and the Olympic marmots. Marmots are rodents. They are large ground squirrels. Mm, squirrel, 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 squirrel. なんだよこれ、読みづれえ。リスちゃん。squirrel. Squirrel. About the size of an average. An average. 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 Average house cat. And they live in a variety of habitats. And even though they spend a significant portion of the year hibernating. According to this case study, marmots are still considered excellent subjects for animal behavioral studies. Why is that? Well, when they are not hibernating, you can find them in open areas and they are pretty active during the day, which makes them easy to observe, right? Uh-huh. So first let's discuss the eastern mammoths. They reside throughout the eastern region of North America, where there is a temperate climate, where the growing season lasts for at least 5 months of the year, which is when they do all their mating, preying, and eating. Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. At first, well, I wasn't sure what growing cheese meant. I just found the reading. But now I get it. It's just the amount of time it takes for them to grow, right? So it will be 5 months? No. I'm sorry, but no. It has nothing to do with that. It had no about the time it takes for each mouse to grow. It's when the food is available. This is when it's not covered in snow and there is no frost covering the grass and vegetative parts of plants, herb, and flowers the mouse like to eat. Vegetative parts, vegetative parts of plants and herbs and flowers. So growing season refers to the availability of the food they eat. Okay, so now how would you describe these mammoth social habits? Well, they're really territorial and loners, and just as aggressive even with the other eastern mammoths. And their mating ritual is just so impersonal. Uh-huh. Now, when they emerge in the spring from hibernation, the mating process begins. For them, well, they come together to mate and then they go their separate ways. Then, about 6 to 8 weeks afterwards, the offspring leaves their mothers. Really? Just 6 weeks? Is it possible for the offspring to make it on their own so young? Well, it's not as if they aren't ready for the real world because they are. écoute, the year. Also, they live in open fields where there is a lot of edible vegetation, so roughly 6 weeks after birth, eastern mammoths are just old enough to take their chances of surviving in temperate environments. So how does this relate to their behavior? Well, I get it, since the climate is not too bad, the eastern mammoths doesn't have to rely on each other too much, and they really don't need to stay together as a family to survive either. Any contrast, the Olympic mammoths, what about them? Well, they live together as a family and take care of their young until they are at least 2 years old. They're really friendly with each other, and what I really like is that they even have greeting ceremonies, and they are not at all aggressive and territorial like the Eastern mammoths. So their social behavior is so different from Eastern mammoths because of the climate where they live. That seems so bizarre. Um, well, the Olympic mammoths inhabit middle high in the Olympic mountain where the weather conditions are much harsher. So there is a lot more wind and snow. The growing season only lasts about 2 to 3 months. So in that much shorter period of time, all the Olympic mammoths, male and female, eat, play, work, and nurture their young together. Because the climate is so harsh, cooperation increases the survival rate of the Olympic mammoths. They keep their young at home until they are physically able to survive on their own. They could explain why the social behavior of the Olympic mammoths is so unlike that of the Eastern mammoths.